Around 3500 BCE, the fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers witnessed the rise of Uruk, one of humanity's first cities. As populations grew and trade flourished, a critical challenge emerged: how to keep track of goods, taxes, and transactions. This pressing need for record-keeping would spark the invention of writing. Sumerian accountants developed an ingenious solution: small clay tokens shaped like animals, grains, or vessels. These tokens, stored in clay envelopes called bullae, represented quantities of goods. When the bulla was broken open, the tokens inside would verify records, creating the world's first 3D accounting system. As trade grew more complex, scribes began pressing tokens into wet clay tablets instead of using bullae. The impressions left behind formed simple pictographs, direct representations of the objects being counted. A drawing of an ox meant an ox, a sheaf of wheat represented grain. This was the birth of two-dimensional symbolic communication. Over time, scribes realized they could draw the symbols directly without using tokens. They developed hundreds of pictographs representing not just objects but actions and concepts. A foot could mean to walk. A bowl might signify to eat. This system, while revolutionary, was cumbersome, requiring memorization of hundreds of symbols for basic communication. The breakthrough came when scribes began using triangular reed styluses to make impressions in clay. Instead of drawing pictures, they pressed the stylus at angles to create wedge-shaped, cuneiform marks. This allowed faster writing and led to more abstract symbols. The ox pictograph simplified to just a few wedge marks. True cuneiform was born. As cuneiform evolved, scribes made a crucial discovery: symbols could represent sounds rather than just objects. The symbol for water, pronounced A, could now represent the sound A, in other words. This phonetic principle allowed writing to capture abstract concepts, names, and eventually entire languages, vastly expanding its usefulness. By 2600 BCE, cuneiform was used throughout Sumerian society. Temples recorded offerings, merchants wrote contracts, and schools taught writing. Administrative documents tracked everything from tax payments to beer rations. The durability of clay tablets ensured these records survived for millennia, giving us unprecedented insight into ancient Mesopotamian life. Cuneiform enabled Mesopotamia's cultural flowering. The Epic of Gilgamesh, humanity's first great literary work, was preserved on clay tablets. King Hammurabi had his famous law code inscribed in cuneiform, establishing legal principles that endure today. Writing had evolved from simple accounting to preserving stories, laws, and wisdom for future generations. For over 3,000 years, cuneiform was used across the Near East, adapting to languages like Akkadian and Persian. It influenced the development of other writing systems before being replaced by alphabets. Yet its legacy endures. The very concept of putting speech into permanent form began with those first Sumerian accountants and their clay tokens. The story of cuneiform reveals how writing emerged from practical needs but transformed human civilization. From Uruk's first tokens to Hammurabi's laws, this innovation allowed knowledge to accumulate across generations. Today, as we text and tweet, we continue the revolution begun by Sumerian scribes, proving that their solution to an accounting problem became humanity's most enduring technology.